Hey guys, it's April 1st and the coin we're looking at right here is ELF on Binance, and this is the 4-hour chart. Now looking back, it looks like I missed a big opportunity to make some money here. Just like a lot of other coins, it looks like it bounced off the 786 line, but I didn't trade it for some reason. I must not have been looking at it at the time. Oh well, you can't get them all. But over the last few months I have been keeping an eye on it, and I was waiting to see where it was going to bounce from, or I was waiting to see for somewhat of a floor forming consolidation, such as what we're seeing right here. You see it's trading sideways right here. So that's given me an indicator that this is the floor and that, I should possibly invest at this position. So now that I know where I want to get in, I have to figure out where I want to set my targets. Now if I would have just did a fib retracement from this position here to this position here, it would have broke below the 786, which probably would have been at this level here. So I'm going to have to take somewhat of a different approach when setting my targets. So what I did was a reverse fib retracement. So I started from this high over here and went to this low right here. Then now you can see we have the levels. Here's the 50%, which I normally trade at because that's more of a conservative approach when setting your targets. But I'm not going to set it there this time. And the reason is because in May, this coin is releasing their multi-side chain, which is it's their next phase of their roadmap. So usually when big milestones happen like that, the price goes up quite a bit. Now it's going to be extremely important that you get in way before the news comes out. Because what happens is the smart investors buy in now, and then closer to the news or when the news comes out, they sell. And the reason is because the large amount they accumulated, months before the news, they finally have someone to sell those coins to, which would be the less experienced people, of course. So they pretty much make them the bag holders, and they sell off their large amount of coins, which then draws the price down. So actually, here's what I'm going to do with this coin. I'm going to set my target to the 786, just like I said, or if it gets closer to May, around the time the news is going to be released, and we're not at this level yet, I might just sell, because I have a feeling when the news is released, the price is going to go down, just like it pretty much does with every other cryptocurrency. You always want to sell the news, as counterintuitive as it sounds. So now I'll check back in next month and see how this goes. Hey everyone, it is the 13th and I'm here doing an update on my ELF trade. So just less than 2 weeks ago I entered this trade and I expected to go long on it, meaning I expected this to take multiple weeks to a month to get to this level. But to my amazement, it looks like the target was reached in a lot less time than I thought. So let me go ahead and make this correction. So that is just incredible, 146% in 11 days. Now if I only knew this price was going to go that high, I would have put so much more of my portfolio into it. But just like a smart trader, I only put a small percentage of my portfolio into every trade. That way if it does lose, it doesn't lose too big. So yeah, that's basically it. The trade went as perfectly as planned. This is why I use these Fibonacci retracements on every single trade. Because these levels, they offer either major support or major resistance. And you can base your trades off that. Now if you're in TradingView and you try to use your Fibonacci retracement and Fibonacci extension tools, you're going to notice they look a bit different. And the reason is because mine are completely custom. Now I've spent years tweaking all these different indicators, so I'm not just going to give them to everyone for free. But if this is something you're really interested in, there is one way to get my custom indicators and also get my trading signals in real time. So if you'd like some more information about that, then click in the link in the description below. Hey, good afternoon everybody. It is March 24th and the coin we're looking at right here is ADX on Bittrex, and this is the 4-hour chart. Now I'm sure all of you know March has been pretty rough this month. We've seen basically a retracement on all the big coins. I think a lot of it has to do with Bitcoin because there's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. So I've been really hesitant on making entry points into some of these coins that I've been following. But just like how it's been, and probably like how it will always be, is the market goes in cycles. And it looks like we're just finishing up with this cycle because we usually get a retracement back to the 786 line, which is this green line. And we're starting to see some consolidation and sideways trading. As you can see here, it's looking like a floor. So to me, that's signifying we want to go from here. The RSI is also showing me some good signals as well. Not the best, but it looks like it wants to go from here. As you can see down here, it pretty much hugged this bottom pretty much the whole time. Now that we're seeing a consolidation up here, if we look back previously, it kind of looks like this right here. And look what kind of increase we got at that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter right now, And if you're wondering where I'm going to set my target is going to be at this 50% level. And what that is a 50% retracement of this Fibonacci retracement right here. And I'm sure you've heard trade the 50s before. That's what a lot of professionals do, because there's a high likelihood it's going to get back to that 50% level of that increase or decrease. So what I'm going to do is buy right here. I set my target to the 50%. Just one tick under, because we want to make sure it actually gets filled. And then just in case it does break down from this position, I'm going to set an 18% stop loss. So if it drops 18% below this level, it's going to automatically sell. Alright, so now we'll check back in at a later time and see how this goes. Hey everyone, it is April 22nd and I'm here doing a follow-up on my ADX trade. Now I got in on this last month and I wanted to take a more conservative approach on where I wanted to set my targets. That's why I set my target to the 50% level of this first wave right here. And I'm happy to see it looks like my target was reached yesterday. And guys, this is a perfect example of why you set your targets. Because if you take a look, it hit this level for maybe 1 hour. I mean, it did go above, as you can see, it did go above, but you never know how much higher it's going to go. I have a feeling everything over this 50 was this FOMO from people who, really don't know how to read the charts, and then all this people who sold right here, the people who understand charts and technical analysis, and that's one of the reasons why it's only a wick there and it didn't actually stay closing above that. But either way, my target was reached and I automatically sold at this position, so I'm happy to report a 64% profit in 27 days. Now because this coin had such a quick rise, I'm not quite sure what it's going to do from here. And if you know me, I always want to keep my risks low, so I'm actually just going to sit on the sidelines and look for opportunities elsewhere. Good evening everybody, it is April 16th and the coin we're looking at right here is Kyber Network on Binance, and this is the 4-hour chart. Now I'm not going to lie, this is a coin I feel somewhat biased about because I've been following it way before even the ICO, and the reason is because Vitalik was the advisor on this project. If you don't know, Vitalik is the one who invented Ethereum, so for him to advise it means, there must be something special about Kyber Network. I also just like what they were trying to achieve, a decentralized exchange. So with that being said, when I look at Kyber, I tend to be a little more bullish than when I look at other coins. Just because I know within the next few years, I know Kyber is going to be something special. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set my targets to this golden zone right here. Right below the first one. Now if you know my trading style, when I want to be a bit more conservative, I usually trade at the 50% level because that's a very high likelihood that the charts will get back to that level. But because, like I said, I feel like Kyber has so much potential, that's where I'm going to set my targets at. So we'll check back in a few weeks and see how this goes. Hey, what's up everybody? It is the 27th and I'm here doing a quick update on my Kyber Network trade. So if you take a look, that is a whopping 79% in only 8 days. That is amazing. I'm so glad I live in the era of cryptocurrency right now, because if we keep this up, we're going to be rich. Let me pull this away for 1 minute. It does look like, it went higher. But as you can see, it didn't close there. Let me move this. Each one of these lines represent 4 hours. So this happened within a, 4 to 8 hour period. So if you weren't by your computer, you would have missed this. So that's why I set my targets and have my bot automatically sell when those targets are met. Now if you guys don't know, I actually have a trading bot to help me automate when I do my buying and selling. Basically it goes down like this. What I do is I set an alert in TradingView, because in TradingView you could right click on the chart and set an alert. So when that alert goes off, I have it connected to a cryptocurrency trading bot so that it automatically buys or sells when that alert goes off. And this is pretty nice because I'm not by my computer 24/7, but with this it's kind of like I am. Now me personally, I just semi-automate this bot because I tell it when to buy and sell, but it could also run completely automated. There are a ton of predefined strategies that you could pick for this bot, and you could also tweak it to, find what works best for you. Now, I didn't make this bot, I just use it, but if you'd like some more information about it, click in the link in the description below because I did an in-depth review on the bot. Alright, that about wraps it up for this. Till next time, see you guys later. Hey guys, it's April 3rd and the coin we're looking at right here is EOS on Binance, and this is the 4-hour chart. So this coin is turning out to be a little bit unique compared to all the other coins I've been trading. And the reason is because it's not retracing as far as I thought it was going to. If you've watched some of my previous videos, then you know my trading style is usually to do a fib retracement from the lowest point right here to the highest point, especially for those somewhat new coins, because we usually always see a 78% retracement on these new coins. But for this particular coin, it seemed like it never wanted to break down to the 786. Now that's normal. Retracement doesn't always have to go down to the 786 level. It's just the most common. Now truthfully, when it bounces off this golden zone, it's showing me it's extra bullish. So since the bulls are pushing up this price from this golden zone, what I'm going to do is a fib extension to see what kind of targets this coin can get to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this fib retracement because as we could see, here's the bounce point and we're starting to see some upward movement, so we know where it's bouncing from. So now I'm going to delete this, and then now what's left is a fib extension where we're going to determine where those targets are going to be. So what I'm going to do in this situation is I'm going to set my target to the 100% level of the fib extension. And what that 100% level is 100% of this leg right here. So what we're going to do is buy in right here. I'm going to set my target right under the 100%. Because if you're trading based on fib extension and fib retracement, there's going to be a lot of other traders doing this as well. So you want to go just one tick under so that your targets are reached and your orders are filled. So now that I have my target set, I'll check back in a few weeks or a month and I'll see how this goes. Hey everyone, it is the 28th and I'm here doing an update on my EOS trade. Alright, so it looks like this one turned out to be a home run. Really happy with this one. It pretty much went straight up since when I purchased in this zone right here. It was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Let me pull this back. Looks like my target was met in only 24 days, netting a nice 115% profit. Now yes, I do see the prices going up still. It looks like it actually wants to hit this next line right here, which is the 127. But when I first got into this trade way down here, I really didn't think it was going to hit the 127 level. That's not a very likely position. I trade based on probabilities, and I know that there's a higher probability to hit this 100% level than this 127% level. Now to get in at this position would be just a huge mistake because I'm pretty confident it's going to break down from here and go lower. So even though the price is going higher, I'm still happy that I sold in my position because as you can see I netted quite a bit amount of profit in only 24 days. So I can't be complaining about that. I mean, taking a look at this RSI right now, it is just way too overbought. So for now I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and look for more opportunities elsewhere like I usually do. Hey, good morning everybody. It is March 30th and the coin we're looking at right here is Loopring on Binance, and this is the 4-hour chart. Now Loopring is somewhat new, so I don't have too much historical data to look at, but just looking at it from this standpoint, we had this crazy run up at the beginning of the year, and then ever since then we had this trickle down, basically just bleeding the coin out as it retraced down to the current position it's at now. So one thing we want to look for when deciding when to enter is starting to see some sideways trading, slash consolidation. Now if you look at my previous videos, I usually invest at the 786 line, which is the green line of this fib retracement right here. But the thing is, when it got to this level right here, we kept breaking down. Usually we get a nice pump from that position, but it didn't happen here. So as it's breaking down that 786 green line right here, you're trying to figure out where it's going to go to. Where's the floor? Now usually past resistance becomes the floor. As you can see right here, this was a resistance point. It was hard to break up from this point, and as you can see, it became the floor. So we saw some sideways trading, some accumulation over here, and then we got a nice spike up. And then now what's really making me bullish on this coin is we're starting to break above these EMAs. See these 3 EMAs? That's another bullish sign. So because of those two indicators, the floor right here, and then an accumulation above these 3 EMA lines, it's telling me it wants to go up from here. So what I'm going to do is enter at this position, this current price right here, and where I'm going to set my target is the 50% level, one tick under, and this 50% level is simply the 50% level from this high right here and this low right here. And that's usually a common place with high probability that the chart will get back to there. You want to set your targets so that they're actually obtainable. You don't want to set it too high. So now at this point my target's set, and I'll check back in a few weeks and see how this goes. Oh yeah, one thing to mention, I'm going to set my stop loss actually at this line right here, this white line. So if it breaks below here, then it's going to automatically sell. Just in case it decides to break down even further, I can, mitigate my losses. Alright, talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, here doing a quick update on my loop ring trade. So it's been exactly 1 month. It looks like my targets were met yesterday. So that's a huge 80% profit in only 29 days. I mean, honestly, April's been a great month. A lot of coins did this. It's really nice. I'm hoping this correction is finally over. But honestly, I wouldn't say we're out of the woods yet. I think we have to wait for Bitcoin to go over 10,000 to have some confidence that the bulls have taken over. Now, for those of you who didn't sell and are still holding at this position, I think it's pretty risky. I think there's a high probability it's going to go down from here. I mean, if you take a look at this RSI, look how overbought it is. And we're even starting to go down right here, which is a signal we're going to go down in price. Also on the MACD, we're starting to transition into the selling volume. I have a feeling it's going to go down from here. I mean, of course not way down, but we might test these EMAs once again. Alright, that's about it with this one, guys. Have a good one.